I'm Alison, and I am so pleased today that I'm doing a live.
Yay.
And I'm here at Woodhaven Space with Nicky, who is the owner here and wonderful mine host. We're going to talk about that shortly. But yeah, this is Nicky, who owns Woodhaven Space, and this is an amazing venue which is actually a home by night, and by day it's a meeting and events venue. So Nicky today is going to introduce and tell us more about Woodhaven Space, and I'm going to, as usual, bring to you my highlights and gems about this wonderful, wonderful venue. So Nicky, I'm so pleased to be here, and actually during this video Nicky's going to be making some of her wonderful energy balls that she provides to her delegates, and they are absolutely delicious. I've had some before. So Nicky, you're going to be making those and telling us what's going in and what's happening. But in the meantime, tell me a little bit about Woodhaven, as in, where are you, how do we get here, and what sort of size venue are you?
So, welcome to Woodhaven. Our eco venue is moments from Woking, so very easy to get to us. London Waterloo, fast train, one stop, takes you to Woking, and then we're 10-15 minute walk up the hill or through the leafy green, along the towpath, along the canal. Or you can park on the drive. We've got space for up to 15 vehicles on the drive.
Yeah.
And that's only about 10 minutes from the M25 junction 11. Again, the Woking.
Yeah, it's really,
junction.
it is easy to get here, isn't it? And I know
Very
it's
easy.
you know, the train to Woking is very fast. And you can, if you don't feel inclined to do the 10-15 minute walk, you can get a cab.
You can, or we come and collect you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, always happy to do that. But when it's such a glorious day like
I
today,
know,
winter or summer, most people love that stroll in the morning, or they'll stay locally to us.
Yeah.
Because we have space for up to 50 delegates, and as Alison says, it's exclusive use, so across the ground floor, rooms, the presentation studio, subterranean level, ground floor and garden. Pool and spa if you want to use it. As I'm pointing, it's off to my left.
It is literally here. We're going to put some, as we go through, as they will have been coming up now, as I normally do, some images about the venue. And we're also going to put up a video that Nicky has, a walking video around the tour of the venue, just so that you can see it as in
Virtual
situ.
tours been really popular actually. A lot of our corporates who come out for team building and training workshops, they don't necessarily have time to come in person, so I either walk them round on a virtual tour or I send it over to them. And people love that. They love seeing,
But they'll be able to
what's
see this now.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is, as I've mentioned before, it is a home. It is a house. It looks like one, isn't it? So tell me, and obviously it's got, so you've got the ground floor, you've got upstairs with bedrooms, and then you've got the basement as such.
Yeah, so the subterranean level is where all the presentation studios are. So
but it's got daylight coming in, hasn't it?
Absolutely. So glass roof lights put fresh light, they light the subterranean level as if you're on the ground floor. And the fresh air system, being an eco building, it's bringing fresh air constantly in. So there's an air system taking the stale air out, putting the fresh air in, and that's keeping the building a constant temperature all year round. So that's the COVID safety at the moment, apart from just having one team per day. It's knowing that there's fresh air coming in. That's one of the things that people love.
So it's always exclusive use here.
Yes.
Like you said, so one company, one event.
Yeah.
On
It might
one
be a
day.
boutique wedding. It's not necessarily a corporate.
Yeah.
But it might be a team building day. It might be a director's team leadership day. It might be personality testing with wine. But whatever it is,
With wine, that's good.
it's the absolutely. There's always a
Is
wine
that part of the
option.
test, whether they drink it or not?
Well, it's fascinating, the journey people have been on in the last year and a half. Finally, that sort of embracing the sustainability side of what we do, that eco side, but with well-being. It's not a tick box exercise anymore.
No.
That's what I love. People are actually embracing what we do, and we'll add in a mindfulness session after lunch, or a breath work on the lawn or in the studio, which doubles up for yoga anyway.
So tell me about also think a huge part about this venue is not only its uniqueness, which is my first highlight and gem about this property, is how unique it is, and the available space. And for me to describe it, it is that warmth, that feeling. And I can't jump to my second one quite yet, which is obviously you, Nicky, as the main host. But it is that warm, friendly feeling that you get when you come here. And it's the relaxation. And it is fabulous. And I think that when a company comes here, it allows them to breathe, relax. And, you know, for that, like you said, management workshops or company away days, you know, the stuff that we've been going through over the last 18 months, people just need to get together again, don't they? And I know lots of people have been doing this. Welcome back.
A lot of our teams started off just using the garden. So, you know, their first meetings together, they would say we'd have put a screen outside, they would Zoom in the colleagues who weren't confident to come. But equally, when we had the hybrid conferences, you know, the medical teams, so the groups of critical care nurses and respiratory physiotherapists, they would be broadcasting out from the studio suites. They would just have the committee here and they'd be broadcasting to hundreds of nurses around the world. You know, that's heartwarming, isn't it, to see people coming together.
And the value of hybrid.
The value of hybrid, but now we're finally back to face-to-face, actually seeing teams who some of them have never met. You know, they've hired during lockdown, and entire director teams where you might have 3 new joiners, and they're brought together. You know, food is, you know, the communication flows when we eat, doesn't it? We're a communal race, the humans, and we like to eat good food, and if it's prepared here from scratch. One of the things they love doing is when I go and pick plums off the tree, for example.
Looking out this way, it's the garden.
You know, I'll make a plum, you know, mini plum. I can't say it.
Can we see some of your jam?
So yeah, yesterday.
So I just want to explain about 2 things. One, just to be very clear about the value of the can I say eco-ness? I'm not sure that's an actual word. But it is that sustainability, the whole eco piece about this property. And obviously the food. So we'll come back to how the property works and how you built it. But the food, so there's all sorts of things that you make from scratch here.
Absolutely. So and
you've got your very own jam.
Here's the Woodhaven strawberry jam batch. Summer 2021. So
fantastic.
If it hasn't grown here, it's grown somewhere local. Apples here that have grown in my parents' garden, the plums are here, the kale and avocado salads that we're doing at the moment, the kale is, you know, 30 feet away, and chop it up here, whiz up the avocado, lemon and garlic, bit of spring onion, and mix that in with the kale. It's one of the most popular salads here at the lunchtime.
It sounds delicious.
But everyone loves the fact that it's all made here from scratch. So there's no rubbish brought in on a lorry. Do you want me to talk about the water?
Please do. So explain to us, I know I've had a guided tour before about this venue and literally how you built it. Why did you build it like you did? And what's it, in a nutshell, what's it got in it? Because I know there's so much, and we could be doing a whole video piece about it.
So Woodhaven is well-being sort of inside and out. So not just how it looks after us. So I am someone who's got severe allergies. My children do too. And I really wanted to live somewhere that was sustainable going into the 21st century. So it would look after our health. So the fact that I researched healthy buildings, so it's made of rapeseed oil that's set hard as a resin. That's the outer shell. So a byproduct of farming. So yes, it's all local, British or European. So it's wood, stone, it's glass. And it's really hit a point for me where the asthma pumps that myself and the children used to use, they have not been used since we lived here. So
that's amazing.
It's
realising. I personally use one.
Well, there we are. I think you should just move in.
Yeah, I know. I'll come and live here with you.
Move the family in. So yes, it was predominantly good health and looking at sustainability in the 21st century. If you're going to put a new building up, if you can use that night and day, that's obviously better for the planet, isn't it? So for me as a coach, I wanted to be able to bring teams here so that I could run coaching courses. So it's not just for corporates and the community who come for yoga. It really was supposed to be enhancing our life and that of the community. So,
and you have
so I've done
really
my best.
achieved that. You have, without a doubt.
And as we grow, we've received a Platinum Award, the Green Gauge Travel Solutions. Platinum is their highest level of sustainability, so Woodhaven has been granted that in the last few weeks.
Fantastic.
So, you know, actually living and working in the same place, it does work, because you've got the common at the bottom of the road, which
For
we use,
walking
Common
and
for
all sorts of
walking.
things.
Are we allowed to talk about Chloe, the therapy dog?
Not yet. We can't skip forward. What about your water?
So, water, thank you, bring me back to what we should be talking about, is food and drink, most important things that people are after when they come. I encourage you to drink more. It's really easy to drink more water if it tastes nice. So our water is all filtered on site. Hormones, antibiotics, heavy metals, microplastics are all removed from the water, and it's delivered still sparkling or boiling through our tap here in the kitchen.
And I have some here.
So
lovely hot water.
So people love the fact that it's here. It hasn't got any air miles, it hasn't got any plastic surrounding it. And I think that's true to say for everything I do. So when we give you a glass of water, there are pens everywhere so you can label your glass so you don't end up with 6 different glasses of water or you're not sure whose
Which
it
people
is.
can't they? You can keep changing them and keep using them.
And then you wonder why the dishwashers go on 6 times. You never wondered, it's not just for corporate, is it? For home life. So we try and give little hints and tips as, you know, sustainability is something you can all improve. We're not preachy about it, I think you find, but we just give you those hints and tips, and they're things that we all...
Which I think is really, really helpful, because, you know, everybody in life gets into a bit of into rhythm, doesn't it, into a routine, and you actually have to stop and think, okay, how can we change this? How can we improve it?
It's just little steps, you know, there's no rights or wrongs. We're all trying to live on this planet, aren't we? And we're all trying to make sure that everyone's in harmony. And I think the more we can just do little steps, we'll all...
Fantastic. So that was my first, the venue. That is my highlight and gem, and it's a big highlight and gem, but because it is so unique, being home and event space, that was my first gem. So just talk us through, before we move on, the food. What are we making? What have you got in here?
So just going to make some energy balls with you. So all I've done so far is get some dates and some apricots, and I've blitzed them up a bit with some pumpkin seeds. I've just tried to do the noisy bit, really, Alison.
Yeah, we did that before.
So we've ground up some almonds, and I toasted some cashews, so I'm just going to pop those in as well. And all I'm going to do...
Now, by looking what you're doing is, you've done this so many times, you're not even measuring this. You know what you're doing.
No, because it's about, with an energy ball, it's really, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just putting in the juice of a clementine there. You smell that, it smells amazing. It's really just to make sure that you've got a mix of the protein that will slow down the sugars from the fruit, and that will just give you an energy boost. Normally, it's in the afternoons, so there's always a homemade scone, the clotted cream and jam, as we said. So it's a very quaint English thing, isn't it? Afternoon tea. But equally with energy balls, that's a different option. It's vegan friendly, because all our food starts with a vegan base, colourful base, and then we add in different proteins. So yes, we still have dairy and fish and meat, but it's good organic grass-fed beef, for example, or it's hormone-free chicken. And with an energy ball, it's really an extension of your lunch, isn't it? It's something a bit sort of later on in the afternoon to give you that energy boost, so to perk us back up. So some will have a cup of coffee, some will have an energy ball, some will have both.
I think because it is, when you're doing something, and especially if you're, you know, everybody's concentrating, aren't they? And it can be tiring, absolutely. And so giving a boost without having that sugar rush, which doesn't last very long, this is fantastic, and hopefully will be slow releasing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just sort of talking about lunchtime, while we're making afternoon tea here, but at lunchtime I start with what the dietaries are for a group. So I'll look at what allergies there are. But even people that aren't allergic to bread per se, gluten makes us tired. It's what it does.
Yes.
So I don't tend to do a sandwich lunch. You know, one of my reasons for setting up Woodhaven was in my corporate life, we used to go off to, you know, dark, gloomy little room, and you were told to come up with your inspiring ideas with your team for the coming year. And you were given this curly sandwich lunch.
Or you had a beige buffet, I always called it.
Oh, beige. Yeah, exactly.
Lots
that.
of beige
Exactly
food.
that.
I think we've all encountered that.
And do you know, that's not how you look after your team. A team away day should be feeling, you know, excited, communication barriers come down, and giving people lots of space, giving them lovely food to eat is exactly how you do that. So just giving you
They look good.
toaster. I tend to make different sizes. Again, when they're homemade, you can do that. But when you hand make food like this, you then chill it down. I've put some cinnamon in it as well.
Nice.
Sometimes I use turmeric. I can make chocolate mini sort of carrot cakes. I'll grind up great carrot in there.
Delicious.
Apples. It really depends what it is.
Yeah.
The
So
different
they
flavours.
look absolutely delicious. As I said, I've tasted these before, and they are yummy, and all the
Yeah.
little bites that you do are absolutely delicious.
And then that's another idea you can go away and do. You know, a lot of people now, well, on a Sunday afternoon, they'll just have a little tinker around, make some energy balls, put them in a box in the fridge, and then they'll take a couple of energy balls to work each day. They just say they've taken that away as an idea. They don't have to spend, you know, £3 buying them. Make it, you know.
Yeah.
It's dead easy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I'm no expert, but you know.
You are. They taste delicious. So, my second highlight and gem of this property has got to be you, Nicky. Being the mine host here, it makes such a difference when you are here from start to finish.
Yeah.
And it makes such a difference. Because with the best will in the world, I think this system that you have, now not every venue can do it because of the size of them, but I think the way that you work and your system adds something special to this venue, because you do the whole process and you can guide people through the best way to use the property, the space, and also your meet and greet. They can see you cooking, the whole process.
Yes, indeed. And even if I'm not cooking at an event, I'm here and I'm around, and I'm making sure that that they're really, my idea is that you exceed expectations. And I know that might sound a bit corny, but most people who come, they've seen an idea of what they're going to get, but until they actually wander around, they don't really understand how they're going to use the space, and equally what they're going to eat. So I've got different chefs who come in, for example, Shane, he's a Michelin star chef, but he's also a mindfulness and meditation coach, and he practices what he preaches. So he'll come and help them, even if it's a team who have never used any of these tools. He says breath is available 24 hours a day. What well-being tool is there that's available 24/7? Our breath, but it's how we use it, because we all breathe far more shallowly than we used to. We're all born breathing, you know, inhaling with our bellies coming out, and actually encouraging those teams to enjoy what they eat, but enjoy, you know, the nurturing element. So that's what I love doing. I just love looking after people, Alison. That's my thing.
As we always talk about at Meetings Club, service is a secret, and you absolutely get it here. So fantastic. So we've got our wonderful food, our wonderful mine host, our unique venue. Now, for me, our third and final is, I think she might top you actually, Nicky, and then everything else is Chloe. Now, Nicky has a wonderful, wonderful dog called Chloe, who is a therapy dog. Tell me a little bit about it, and then can you go and get her in a minute?
Yes, I can.
Can you disturb her?
She's wondered to. She's probably gone for a rest.
What do they say? Never work with animals and children, is it?
Yeah, animals, children, anything little.
Yeah.
So Chloe is, she's a crossbreed, so she's non-shedding. So even for me with my horrible allergies, I'm not allergic to Chloe, and I've not found any guests who are. She gets guests over not just a fear or phobia of animals, but she's a very calming influence. She's also been attuned to Reiki, so she is actually an energy exchanging Chloe dog, and I always say she's my most requested team member. She genuinely is, because she will go around the room. She works the room. How's that? She's a model who works the room, and she will go and sit with individuals. She'll sit with a team. She's always there when it's photo time.
Yeah, very good. Also, I always find that fascinating, particularly, you know, when you have a dog. I think they pick up on the fact of people who need a little bit of extra touch.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that's so nice. And obviously that's one of her skills, being a therapy dog, isn't it?
Yes, definitely is.
So we are, yes, please go and grab her. So while I met Chloe and the first time I came here, and she is just so lovely. And I think the people that visit this house and this home really do appreciate seeing Chloe and its difference. And again, it adds to that warmth and that homely feeling that you get when you come into this venue. It is absolutely fabulous, and she is now coming back, and here is the absolutely wonderful Chloe. Oh my goodness.
Come and say hello.
Look at her. She's so adorable.
Not normally allowed in the kitchen, are you, Chloe?
Oh, special treat for today. So that is Chloe, the wonderful therapy dog.
Oh, we're keeping you awake.
Oh.
So yes, she goes on walks with our clients as well. They might go down onto the common. She loves that, don't you?
Oh, that's such a treat.
Part of the experience. Yes, indeed.
Very good.
Indeed.
Well, Nicky,
thank you for coming,
been
Alison.
an absolute pleasure. And you can find much more about Woodhaven Space on meetingsclub.com. We have done an editor's destination, and there is a venue page as usual, so please take a look at that. It has been an absolute pleasure being in Woking today at Woodhaven Space, and we've got lots more venues coming up, so we'll see you soon.